Previously, we begin our story in a neonate's haven. Isabella.
Style can mean certain things to certain people.
Professor Masters.
I want you to listen to me very carefully.
Kevin, a bruiser.
Careful you don't blow your dick off, mate.
You have all met to continue Kevin's training in the ways of being a member of Kindred Society. You are interrupted with a phone call. Tony, Jade.
Is that one of my clan?
It is.
I want to see you at my club
Is there any...
in half an hour.
You instantly dislike him.
I look up Tony Jade.
His club is Delight. You see a bouncer. He opens his mouth. You can see no tongue.
When a member of your clan beckons, it is best to go. We will make an appearance and try and get out as quickly as possible.
And now, you begin walking towards the back door, towards the office door. Stepping inside, it's much like the outside, a small room with a desk, leather-backed chair, a single chair in front of that desk, a squat man with, as described earlier, black thinning hair, combed back and slicked back. There are some flamingos, like toy plastic flamingos in the thing, but they seem
You
neon.
didn't tell me this was you.
Where'd that inspiration come from? By the
know.
way, so this is a short, squat. Is he like rotund? Is he a
Yes.
heavyset man? So it's Danny DeVito.
How dare you?
No,
He is.
not as lovely
You
as
know
Danny
he is.
DeVito.
Danny
He
DeVito would
he
never.
gestures for you to come in.
Can I read his aura?
Absolutely, you can.
So that's-
You can make a roll for it.
8 dice.
The difficulty
Perception and
is 8. It is your what you should have written down. Perception and empathy.
Yeah.
So whatever those are added together,
How's the difficulty calculated?
it's set.
Oh, it's just always 8.
It is always 8.
It's really high.
Auras are tricky.
Yeah.
You also can't just read everyone's. Humans and kindred are complicated.
You really readable dice.
Yeah, 3.
Say that into the mic, otherwise it sounds weird.
3.
You made it weird.
Three successes
Yeah.
on your aura check roll.
Yeah.
He has a lavender, pink, and dark blue sort of aura, and they are faded, like all kindred's auras are.
Lavender, pink,
And dark
and
blue.
dark blue.
They all kind of swirl together, with the dark blue pushing forward slightly more than usual. Well, it pushes forward, ebbs and flows.
I take that to mean there's something melancholy, but then also something a bit perverse. Something,
Wise deductions.
something like a.
You picked a good skill for you.
Yeah.
I would have been like, eh?
something
He likes
really,
the colour purple.
something really weirdly infantile about it. I don't know. That's
I'll
my
let you sit with that.
Yeah.
So,
Tony?
Enchanté.
Mr. Masters, Isabel, Kevin.
I'll let that slide for now.
You've let that slide a few times. Who's sitting? Can we sit down? One of you.
Isabel?
I have limited time. Can we move on with this?
We're waiting.
Kevin, you have a seat. I don't mind standing.
Okay, fine.
Kevin's going to keep eyes with him and sit down.
Listen, I'm doing you a favour.
Okay.
Which is?
What's the favour then?
His aura changes slightly to a red. It's a little bit... He's getting frustrated.
Please, tell us, Tony.
Listen, you have failed to make a splash in Kindred Society, you three. Other than introducing Kevin to our city, which God knows where he came from, you haven't done anything.
Patience is a virtue, Tony.
Patience is a virtue, and yes, we have every night imaginable, but also there are things to be done, and those things aren't happening.
Well, what do you want
You
done,
have
mate?
been significantly out of the court of Adelaide. The Camarilla has ruled this city for nearly 100 years, very successfully, mainly because it's isolated, but because basically everyone pitches in.
And what would you like us to do, Tony?
If you had been attending court regularly, instead of indulging and babysitting the neonate, you would know that it is the month of August.
Does that have any
Does-
significance
Which means...
to us?
No, it doesn't. Okay. And he is very quick to explain.
Right. We look at each
Which
other
means that the primogen of Clan Malkavian is DOA. Well, no, not DOA. What's the other one? Unavailable.
MIA.
MIA.
Look, mate, obviously there's things that we don't know and you're quick to tell us. So let's cut to the chase. What do you want us to do?
All right. Fine. I was going to ramble on a bit more, but
Is this Chris or the character?
It's him. It's absolutely him.
He cut Kevin off 2 times and didn't listen to him, so Kevin's getting right to the chase.
Sure.
Because he's a bit pissed off now as well.
One of Clan Malkavia has gone missing.
Who?
The Primogen.
No, not the Primogen.
No, he's unavailable.
It's August.
Is this some caprice of the Malkavian Primogen that he just goes missing in August? Like, because he's...
That's what you are.
Malkavian?
That's what he's
That's
saying.
what you may be gathering.
Okay, yeah.
The
August
Primogen
is
of-
his month off.
He just
Yes,
goes
but
away.
As
a vacation.
neonates who have not experienced a year yet as undead, you have no precedent for this.
Yeah.
But I'm quite intelligent. And I'm guessing
Yes, that's what you have guessed.
surmise.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
August, off he
For
goes.
whatever fucking reason, there's a Malkavian that just fucks off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens to be the Primogen.
And now there's another one that's gone that we want to find.
Yes. Charlie Star disappeared. It's been gone for a month, at least.
And no one has heard anything?
Anything
Usually, kindred missing, either Coterie mates or, the clan would sort it. But obviously, the Primogens disappeared. Adam's busy with whatever the fuck is going on there. So,
Charlie's Adam's child, isn't he?
What?
Charlie is Adam's child, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is there a reason you're wanting him back so quick? Is there anything we should know about?
What? No, me? I'm letting you know that this is an opportunity. Every kindred is busy. Clan Malkavia, you can't get them to do anything because they're all lunatics.
And
Clan
how-
Toreador is dealing with its own stuff right now. We have some stuff to do.
And we just want to make sure that Charlie's not causing trouble somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Well-
or if he's met the sunrise or his final death, the thing or kindred who did that. Because that would be useful for the rest of us to know.
So, you would like us to find Charlie? As
Yes,
quickly as
please.
possible?
That would be kind.
I think that is within our capability.
As he said, we're supposed to make ourselves useful, so...
Thank you for this, Tony. We will do our best and deliver Charlie in one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. And how do you plan on doing that? Just out of curiosity. How do you plan on finding him? Because don't bother chatting with Adam, because Adam is busy with the prince.
You're aware that our Bruger friend finding people and finding things out is his line of work, right?
Kevin's just going to be smiling.
It's almost as if I contacted you for that very reason,
Well,
mate.
then why
So
are
do
you
you really
asking
need to
how?
ask?
Because
mate.
how do you plan on starting?
I've got eyes and ears where they need to be. You leave it with me. You've clearly asked me for a reason, so how about you let me do my job?
Seems to be an unorthodox request, so we will do it in an unorthodox way.
Okay. All right.
You shouldn't really care about our methods. Results will speak for themselves.
Sure thing.
Is that all, Tony?
That's all. Say hi to Jerry for me on the way out.
He is your doorman.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin steps up and walks out.
Quite an unfortunate creature.
No. I saved his life. He'd be dead otherwise. Bleed out.
You are an unusual man, Tony.
I'm a kind man. You're just too young to know that. I'm also not a man, and neither are you.
Close enough.
Isabel, after you.
Au revoir, Tony.
Bye.
Nothing cuts through like an Australian accent.
Bye.
Right. You exit Delight.
Yes, please, quickly
Yes.
as possible.
You
Kevin
get to
stops,
yes,
heads over to the man and just holds out his hand.
and hands over your gun.
Thank you, Sherry.
Seems rather taken by you and waves in a very happy way. There's almost a smile on his face.
She goes
Isabel,
for
I don't think we need any more projects right now.
You can always have more projects on the go. I don't think my matters are your business entirely.
How taken is he with you?
Oh, fuck.
Nah, it's fine.
Nah, that's you good.
But you're right. We have pressing matters to attend to.
If we might have a meeting of minds before we get started.
Shall we be back to the heaven?
Certainly.
My heaven, rather.
Yeah, sure. Kevin will get into his
Kevin?
car and they'll start heading back to the haven.
You drive back to your haven.
Absolutely. No one else is driving my car.
Well, I don't... Can we?
Nope.
No.
Kev's car.
No,
Kevin.
I mean, I don't think any of us
No.
can drive.
That's why he went later.
The discussion in the car, or is it silence?
I would begin talking in the
Sure.
car,
Yep.
I think. Kevin, if I've taught you anything, things in this world, not as they seem. Thoughts?
Look, mate, you're right about that, but there's one thing I can teach you is that there are some things in Kindred Society that work just the same as they did in the Kind World. If there's someone we need to find, that's what I used to do.
I'm not doubting that. Kevin. I'm just saying we need to be wary of the circumstances in which the request has been made. I doubt it's as simple as we're missing someone, go find them.
And nothing is straightforward when dealing with the Malkavians.
Look, if there's anything I've learned, nothing's straightforward when dealing with this kindred society in general. There is 100% something more to this, but we go with first steps first. The only way we can know that is by finding this person, or at least finding someone that knows where that person is. So
Certainly.
we can only look as far ahead as we can see.
Tony's right as well. We are slipping out of favour. Making ourselves useful will enshrine our position.
There are quite a lot of eyes on us, and whatever we do, we must make sure that we are not transgressing.
Well, my point is more that we should make it known what we're capable of, sooner rather than later.
I agree. So, how do we find this chalet?
Do we know where the Malkavians usually reside?
They have a territory southeast of the city in the area of, like, around Glenside. In terms of where a kindred's haven is, that's almost always secret.
I might have a few eyes and ears. I can check around in that area, and if maybe see if there's any discrepancies in the area. See if people going missing, or the comings of goings, or a bit of violence untowards has been prevalent in the area.
The Malkavians are rather unusual. There could be other actions, strange sightings, unusual folk.
And they may just talk to you about their delusions rather than what they've actually seen.
There was not just Malkavians around there, so hopefully someone else's eyes and ears have picked up something untoward.
Let's see if we can't trace him back to where he went missing.
Do we have any other contacts?
Yes, we do.
At this point, I feel like I, as a storyteller, might want to jump in.
Yep.
I'm going to ask all of you to make what is effectively a common sense roll.
Right, okay.
This is the thing that you should know.
This is the thing which you have, and, you know, this is...
Players will constantly surprise you about what they don't pick up on.
Pointing to teeth.
Yes. Could I please have a intelligence wits roll?
It's also...
Difficulty 7.
This game itself, like, lends it to, like, overthinking things a lot. Where you're just like, oh, it has to be something, and then you miss the what's in
So
it.
intelligence wit, so you roll both those attributes together?
Roll those both attributes together, and it's a difficulty of 7. This is kind of my common sense roll.
4 and one of them's a 10.
Okay, cool. Give that
Reroll
one
the 10.
Reroll the 10.
Sorry, what was the difficulty again?
I think I said 7.
7.
7 successes?
Yeah,
If I get-
know, as in, so that was a 7. So.
Okay, yes,
get-
so it's a
5.
success.
If I get more 10s, do I re-roll them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to...
Oh, we can
I'll
re-roll
let that-
10s?
Yeah, you re-roll
Yay,
a 10.
I got 2.
6.
Great.
5.
Luckily, we're smart characters.
Yay!
5.
You are very smart characters. You're
Yay.
also very passionate kindred, and led by your Bruja, who kind of initiated the investigation, and who you're led with. You're kind of led in that direction because of his skill set. Mm-hmm. Kevin, you pull over as you're driving back to the Haven. As the discussion naturally kind of goes into, well, we need to have a list of options for who we could contact and who we could discuss and who we could get more information. You pull over to the side as you all simultaneously realize that someone who probably knew a lot about what's going on was Tony.
Fuck.
And you didn't ask him anything.
Like how he knew, what's going on.
Who this kindred is, what are their relations. You just kind of took the...
We just didn't like him.
Yeah. So Kevin
took the
stops.
request and left.
Kevin stops. He indicates, he quickly stops and just goes and looks at the rest of you. Who's at the front with Kevin?
I always assume it's the professor, but is that right?
I think so,
Yeah.
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 Hey, just a question here. Now, I didn't like this fella. In fact, he kind of pissed me off. But just throwing it out here, is there a chance we could have interrogated him in a little bit further?
That seems to be an oversight on our part.
Yeah. Any of you averse to me heading on back?
I wonder if perhaps I'm the woman for the job. He rubs you the wrong way. He's not particularly wonderful. I don't find him particularly pleasing, but maybe he needs a softer approach.
You have the high empathy role and generally know how kindred operate. They operate similar to human beings.
Yep.
Why would you have left then?
Possibly.
You have enough etiquette, I presume?
I've
you have
got,
any
yeah,
etiquette?
I've got etiquette.
Yeah.
So do I.
I want to retcon that we didn't leave.
Unfortunately, we did.
No,
Yeah.
we
Gotta
really
live with
did.
it.
We got the fuck out of Dodge.
in the live action-
you can't like really underplay how much he pissed us off almost immediately.
Yeah. We really didn't like the tosser.
Yeah.
No.
But there
you
was
entered
something-
into his venue, though, with a hostile edge, not liking what was going on.
Yeah.
However, that's how it's played out. That's fine. That's good. That's what stories are made of.
I was going to try and phrase it as if it was clear that you two were getting quite overtly pissed off
Yes.
with Tony.
That's good, yeah.
And, like, because while I'm kind of like, you know, yes, Kevin's
went to-
about to kind of fucking throw hands and you're snarking at him.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best footing.
Sure.
So whether it's better for Isabel to kind of drop back in going, I needed to see my friends off as they begin. I thought maybe we could have a more intimate talk one-on-one without some more brusque personalities. You know how the Bruja and Tremere can come across, and Toreador to Toreador, we understand each other.
That sounds wise.
I will give
Womanly
you.
wiles.
I will give you a. I will give you a better one if you beat a success of wits etiquette.
You want to know Toreador shit that they
No.
wouldn't...
3.
Okay, you know that the best way, because you're an empathetic character, you have some etiquette, and you're a smart sort of character. You know that the best way to recover from this and the best way to kind of play it off is to say that not that you didn't storm out following Kevin the Bruja stormed out and you chased him.
Yep.
And he was upset because, you know, of his morals or whatever and the way he was being spoken to. And Bruja do that because, you know, they're filthy creatures that are lower clan. And you're, as a Toreador, much better than that. And you're back just to realize, to calm Tony of what that, and that the Professor and Kevin will be back shortly. Keeps the three of you together.
Yep.
Because Tony by yourself is a dangerous thing. You as a kindred know that.
Yep.
But also, it's a good way to save face.
Okay.
So
Let's
it's a
do
bit,
that.
You don't feel good about that because you're throwing your little neonate prodigy under the bus.
Well, we can have him. We can put about a reputation that he's super hot-headed, you know, and maybe he's not that bad actually.
Yeah.
But
And
also,
that's
if
disinformation.
You,
That's good for us.
If you tell that to Kevin can understand that. He's like,
Yeah.
look, you want to throw around this rumor, and if that gets us where we need to go, fucking go at it.
And let's put it about that you're dangerous and fly off the handle all the
And
time.
also that we are doing our jobs as
looking after you.
yeah, there is a reason that we have been quote unquote babysitting is
Yes.
that he's still coming, you know, he's still coming into his own and you know, that presents its own particular trials.
And Kevin, you're a smart enough character and you rolled well enough on the common sense that you know that, you know, this is a moment for you as a humbling moment. You are an investigator, you're a professional, but also this is a world that is different. That the fact that you kind of go, of course I couldn't just find a kindred's haven. I'm sure human hunters have been trying to do that for years.
Yeah.
Like, how could I do that?
Yeah.
Just because I'm a kindred doesn't mean I'm any better at finding them.
And it's him like it's one of those instances where he goes, wow, I got really overtly angry there.
That was
I
dangerous and stupid
And
of me.
I just like
Yes.
that happens often, and it pisses him off to get pissed off.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it happens without him wanting it to.
Yes.
We
It's
can
a-
save face here.
So, what
Some to a
will you
degree.
do?
Or turn the car around.
back.
Kevin turns around. Fucking take two.
Back at the club.
The building is in reality a small and unassuming. You park at the adjacent car park, step out, the three of you, make your way back to the front of Delight.
Just he's not even going to have a comment. He's just going to hand the gun over.
Go
keep
back
walking.
upstairs.
Jerry takes the gun, but gestures for Isabel to come closer. He's
Wait a
5 foot.
second.
Yep.
He just stands on his tippy toes, tries to give you a peck on the cheek.
Can I read anything from his kind
You can check aura before you approach if you'd like. You seemed a little concerned about him before. I'm happy to say that you checked his aura before approaching.
You're the
I mean,
expert.
my first impression is that he's just kind of like
Or
a
you
little
can just do
kid.
an empathy check before he kisses you as a kind of reaction.
Well, yeah, it'll be the kind of like if someone's suddenly going in for a...
Wits and empathy. Difficulty 6. So add your wits and your empathy together.
Just one.
Just one success?
Oh, sorry, no.
Wits, empathy, not just empathy. Yeah. It's always two things together.
Unless it's not.
In which case, then it's
9
just
times
one.
out of 10, it's two things together.
It's always two things
There
unless
we
it's one
go.
thing.
That's more
That's
like
it.
Okay.
Did you botch?
No botches.
Was there
Okay.
any ones?
Was there any ones in there?
No.
Oh,
Just no successes.
You have no idea what his intentions are.
he could just devour.
I would probably just make sure that it's a cheek. Like, you know, I'm not
Yes.
going to shy away.
Yes.
But I'm just going to kind of more tilt my head so
Yes.
that any kind of lips are going to plant themselves on the cheek.
They're not
and
going to slip around to the mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They land on the cheek. Great. He kind of grunts to himself happily and smiles at you. And you enter the strip club again.
I was going to say, it's not like... And he sinks his fangs. He's a vampire. Diablerie.
You enter again. You see Lisa has put on clothes, but is working behind the bar. And a girl who was previously working behind the bar is now on a pole.
Oh, you can't save them all.
Hold on, it's another one of my students.
That's right there. All my students work in
Yeah.
this strip club.
But also,
Interesting.
that's not...
not
That's
a bad
not
thing.
not mutually exclusive. Like,
No.
Sure.
you can very easily kind of pay your way through, and you know. Look, I'm just in
Vincent-
podcast
Vincent doesn't
world. I
think
just
that.
don't want to, stigmatize sexual workers.
Sure.
It is
But
the
in-
world of darkness.
in the world of darkness,
Let it
so-
be. Let it be.
Stigmatize away.
Please take the lead.
I will. I'm just going to head into Tony's, knock on the door.
Tony's still sitting there. He has
Yep.
he has a laptop out and is flicking with one hand, his right hand on the laptop. With the left hand, he has a pen. Appears to be ambidextrous, as he seems to be competently doing both.
Yes. I want to kind of put on a very apologetic yet pragmatic air. Tony, I must apologize about the way we left earlier. As you can see, our friend Kevin has some trouble controlling his anger. It is a thing that we are working on, but we wanted to make sure that everyone's feeling okay and that we can continue our conversation.
Kevin's going to give off an air of reserved, begrudging respect. It's clear that he went off in a huff and now he's come down, but he's playing the part.
Yeah.
Are you genuinely sorry, or like is your character like is it an action of like displaying it, or is he actually genuinely like
Shouldn't have stormed off.
shouldn't have stormed off?
He knows it's for the good of the cause that he needs to do that. Like
Okay.
it's a thing of like he needs to do this to get to where they need to go.
Can you roll, let's say, manipulation expression for me? No, manipulation etiquette. And Sean, could you please roll manipulation performance? Yes. While performance usually is the actual act of performing, I'm going to use it in this instance to be performing that you're sorry. The difficulty for you is 7. Ellen, the difficulty for you is 6. However, you have a -1 on that roll
Okay.
because of the garish nature of the environment.
So do I just take off?
Roll them again and take one of the dice away in this instance. Just
-1
just
die.
-1 die.
So 3 successes.
3
then.
successes.
With
And
my 2 die, I got 1 success.
very good. All right. He seems appeased by this. All right. Sit down.
I suppose we should begin. How did you come to know that Charlie was missing?
I think it was, who was it? Someone told me. I can't remember.
Someone
Sorry,
with him.
Charlie what?
Star. 2 hours.
I think it was. Oh, Zola! It was Zola who told me. That stupid girl.
Who's...
Lincoln's child. My clan.
Yeah, the quiet one.
Top
Have you met
Google.
Zola? Much at all?
In passing,
She's, you would forget her. She's like a wallflower, that girl.
unusual
Absolutely
for our
useless.
kind.
Does
She doesn't chat. She doesn't say anything. She's useless.
Does she associate with Charlie?
I think they're in a coterie together.
Right. So
I think.
she's the one who alerted that he was missing. Makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
She brought this to your attention?
Yeah, well, she said barely any words. She said, Charlie's missing.
When was
Something
this?
like that. Don't know, a week ago? I don't keep tabs. It's not my job.
That's okay. We're just trying to find out what it is that you do remember.
Yeah, well.
And apart from having a coterie with Zola, do you know much about what kind of impressions Charlie may have left?
What?
Who did Charlie
Associate with.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Just Zola's friends. Bloody, what do
Any
you
idea
call
what their coterie was up to?
They're based in, where is it? Port Adelaide.
And who else is in this coterie?
Look, it's the Port Adelaide Coterie Port Anchor Hotel. That's their usual hangout spot. I'm not going to name names, because let's be honest, it's not a coterie.
It's just a gathering?
You know it. Well, it's more than that, isn't it?
What is it? We may as well be blunt about it, mate. If it gets us towards Charlie, it's worth us knowing.
Roll a manipulation expression for me.
I love that his version of expression can be just being incredibly straight. Like, it doesn't have to be erudite to be expression.
Well, he's
it can be saying the
expressing-
right thing in the right
Difficulty
way.
7. 1 success.
Yep.
Look, those young brats have been making a little, like, they think they're great. They think they know everything, and they don't. Okay? I'm not going to tell you. I'm definitely not going to tell you. Points to Kevin. Not going to tell you. As long as you're keeping around with them, I'm fine with it. But I'm going to send more to the meat grinder.
Has there been an issue?
It's an
of
expression.
violence?
It's not violence. Violence for sake. I'm not going to let you fall in with that crowd. No.
Anarchs.
You can see that visibly strikes a chord with him. That you kind of cut to the point. Yeah, they're anarchs. Well, they think they are. Adelaide hasn't had an anarch movement in 10 years? At least no one's been brave enough to publicly declare it, and neither of these...
This isn't a movement. This is misguided children.
This is young... Yeah, exactly. You're speaking my language. Absolutely. These aren't anarchs. These are little kids playing dress-up.
But this is not about them. This is about Charlie.
Well, if you want to go chat to them, that's fine.
But
You can chat to them and you can ask them anything you want.
Are we concerned that Charlie's gotten himself into some deeper shit that we'd rather not be in?
Look, I don't think so, because Zola came and chatted to me. She doesn't know where he's gone, so I don't think it's... Look, they're not even anarchs. They're just little kids playing pretend. Little neonates playing pretend. Licks.
and they can get themselves into a world of trouble.
See, here's the thing. Charlie's a Malk, so,
Anything he does is trouble.
Exactly.
Well, it's a
He
start.
seems to visibly relax that you, particularly with the professor, for some reason he trusts you a bit.
More than me.
Definitely more
You're
than
a
you.
rival.
Yeah.
More than that, he can visibly see you're upset by this space. He knows. You're not good enough to cover that.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can be of greater service than simply tracking down a stray child. Perhaps we can nip this thing in the bud and maintain the Camarilla while we're here.
All right. That's fair enough. Listen, I wasn't going to say this because I don't think it's right. But, yeah, trust you. Speaking again to the professor. I can trust you, I think. I hope. I have Charlie's address.
That would be handy.
I have Charlie's Haven address. Don't ask me how I got it. I'm not going to tell you.
Sure.
This is for his well-being.
If the sheriff asks, or his Primogen asks, or Adam asks, as acting Primogen, I guess,
Didn't
that's
come from you.
exactly what you say.
I've got eyes and ears on the ground. It could have come from anywhere.
Absolutely it could have.
And Malkavians can make big waves sometimes.
Sometimes they say stupid things, and they say that to the wrong person.
Who's to say?
Right.
I think we're all on the same page.
Myrtle Bank Street. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you, Tony.
Give me a wits empathy test, all of you. Difficulty 8. So you're at a -1.
So do I just not roll that dice?
That's right.
So if I do an extra roll and that one's also a 10, do I roll again?
Sure. Why not?
Working out really well for me in the last few rolls.
I don't mind it. Again, these are abridged rules and designed to facilitate a story.
4.
4 successes
2.
for Mr. Masters, Professor Masters rather. 2 for Kevin, and for Isabel.
2.
2 successes. That's not all he has to say. There's more to be found.
We all know this?
Yes.
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 I mean, I know
Kevin's-
more than you.
You think it has? He's hiding something, deliberately obfuscating something.
Look, first of all, mate, I'm going to apologise for how I behaved. It was not right, and I owe you more respect from that. But I will say this, if you'll permit me. I do this for a living, and I know that the most information you can give us does more to help all of us than you can imagine. So if you would be so kind as to let us know everything that may be helpful to us, goes all the more to making this whole thing run, above all else, smoothly.
And that's why I don't trust you. You do this for a living, but you don't.
You're dead.
See, he gets it.
I'm teaching him. His point is not entirely invalid, Tony.
Sure, fair. You know,
And you-
I mean,
you
what's
know-
the worst that happens, right? You end up
You
not
know
coming
us.
back. I suppose.
know-
No, I don't.
I mean, my clan. We know the value of secrets. You help us, we keep it under wraps.
You don't know about Chloe and Sam, do you? I mean, you've never met them, and there's good reason for that.
No, I haven't.
Would I know?
You've never met them either.
We have even heard of these people.
You've heard of them. If you've definitely, you
Yeah.
can see it. You know who
So-
they're
Yeah,
related to.
they're the
Charlie's
kids.
children
They don't go to court. They're
lost.
Caitiffs.
lunatics.
Yeah, that too.
No, they're proper.
Even for Malkavians.
Some Malkavians get embraced and then promptly locked in a box and thrown into the ocean or left out in the sun, because madness manifests in different ways and sometimes we can't work with that.
And you're saying that's what should have happened to Chloe and Sam.
I'm saying the Camarilla is dealing with it in a way that is respectful of the Masquerade and make sure that nobody falls to the beast, not even Sam or Chloe.
Well, we'll make that our priority as well.
And that's all you have to say, Tony?
I think I've been more than accommodating.
You have. And we want to thank you.
You can thank me by doing this fast.
Of course.
I'm sure we can make plenty of progress, Tom.
You know what? You can make it up to me.
How?
If you go see Zola, next time I see her, we'll be at a court where she is publicly stating her commitment to the Camarilla.
You want to make that clear to her?
I want to make it clear to everyone
Understood.
that our clan is loyal to the Camarilla
As it should be.
and that one clan does not have a monopoly on that position. Sound fair? Directing that straight at Isabella.
Of course, Tony. I understand.
I really do hope you do. Now, as they used to say, ciao, and kind of leans back into his chair.
Who's they?
And
I actually kind of like him more now. The second part of the conversation, he's endeared himself to me a lot more.
and pulls his laptop over
Maybe
his
it's because he
lap.
likes me. I don't know.
Possibly. You're attracted to people who like you.
It's a weakness. People give me respect. I'm like, yeah, I deserve it.
He's right to. That makes him smart.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
that...
for the second time,
You
in
exit.
an hour, we
Delights.
exit. Make our way out, and as per usual, Kevin will retrieve his gun from the tongueless one.
Metal Bank Street.
Myrtle.
Myrtle.
Bank
Myrtle.
Street.
That makes way more
As
sense.
in...
Metal Bank Street.
Bank Street.
Where the Malkavians hang out.
This is not a black dog game. This is a white wolf game.
Right.
Black Dog is actually a joke production company that White Wolf made.
They
As-
made it.
to spoof themselves.
Keep it in the family.
It's good when you constantly poke fun at yourself.
Yes, so it's full of, I think if you wear a trench coat, you deal extra damage or something
Jesus
like that.
Christ.
Dual wielding
That's
katanas
awesome.
is better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a few leads to follow. Zola of my clan. She was the last one to possibly see Charlie. She's the one who raised the matter to Tony. Important to talk to. And since he wants her to publicly state her commitment to the Camarilla,
because
They're in a coterie together.
sort of
We have-
running around Port Adelaide pretending to be outside of the Camarilla.
possible anarch situation on our hands.
Want to be anarchs. Foolish business, and it would be well for us to nip it in the bud straight away.
What are anarchs?
I believe you should take this, Vincent.
Thank you. Anarchs consider themselves to be more enlightened than people who follow the Camarilla. They believe that it is stifling and less egalitarian than they would like, ignoring the fact that this structure has maintained our society and the Masquerade for thousands of years. It's foolish and childish and usually ends in ruin.
Just a nod. It's an interesting thing to plant in his head, because revolution ain't always bad.
Do I notice he didn't take that in the spirit that I gave it to him?
He is driving, so you are talking to him.
Yeah.
I'm presuming you're in the passenger seat, so you can roll a wits empathy. Perception empathy, actually.
Does that go against anything, or is that just
That will be against your minus your manipulation. What is your manipulation, Sean?
2? I've got it's 2 in it and manipulation.
Difficulty 6.
One success.
Yes.
Oh, no, 2 successes.
2 successes. You recognise that he failed to take that in the spirit that you had hoped.
We know it all presides over at Port Adelaide. We know that there is a place where this coterie, or if you want to call it, a loose group, tend to hang, which is at the Port Anchor Hotel. And we know Charlie in question sired 2 children, Sam and Chloe.
And we know that those children are wild.
Yes, but to what extent have they been trapped or suppressed?
Or destroyed.
It's no wonder that Charlie is missing too, is all I am saying.
The Camarilla doesn't brook such divergence.
So, we either head to the Port Adelaide Coterie or we head to Charlie's personal address.
I feel like the way I did things is that before you talk to the people, you try and find out as much as you can about who they are, and what better place to do that than where they reside.
I think that's wise. It is not good to go in with people who are so inflamed by ideas. Ideas are very hard to kill, and sometimes can be pointed in the right direction.
Not to be blunt about it, but if Malkavians, if talking to them is, if they're a few stubbies short of a six-pack, it's best to get know as much as we can about them before we try and enter into a conversation with people of their ilk. A few roos loose of a top paddock,
I don't know if... I suspect
Brilliant.
But I think we need to have Kevin describe each clan with an Australian colloquialism.
Oh my god!
Does anyone...
I had to do everything just fucking burst out.
Why would you
If
not?
this was D&D, you would just get inspiration right there.
Does it remind anyone of Broden from Auntie Donna?
Yeah.
With the whole...
I've no idea what that is.
There's like a reel of outtakes where... the take he used was I hate that kid. He's a real Margaret Thatcher to me coal mine unions, and there's like a whole bunch. He did some of my favourite phrases of his. Now we're borrowing weeklies from the same bloody blockbuster, or what in the Bert Newton are you doing? So these are all great to draw upon.
Just so you know, there are Kevinisms abound.
That's what I'm paying for.
out.
That's fantastic.
Borrowing weeklies.
You fucking wait.
I
They are
can't wait.
coming.
That's really clever.
Every clan, please. An Australianism for every clan. I kind of want to know what the blue-blooded one is. Who
So,
does he think he is? Rupert Murdoch?
No, it's really easy. Do you want Ventru?
Yeah.
They got tickets on themselves.
got tickets on themselves.
I don't know that.
You never know one?
I've
Tickets
never
on
heard
yourselves
that.
means you've taken a bet out on yourself.
Oh,
You've got
right,
tickets
right,
on
right.
yourself.
You're very up yourself.
So you've got, you're very, if you have tickets on yourself, you have a high opinion
That's
of
You
yourself.
fantastic.
must excuse me. I am from France.
So
We do not say these things.
if Kevin, if you guys look at him strangely, Malkavians, they're a few stubbies short of a six-pack. Few roos loose in the top paddock.
Don't understand.
Crazy.
Oh, okay.
They're crazy.
Yes.
Sorry, must be a Melbourne thing.
That much is clear. So, I wasn't quite clear.
We are going to Charlie's, I believe.
His home address, not the Port Anchor Hotel.
I believe it is best to go to Charlie's to see what
Yeah.
information we can glean.
If that's the one that they don't want us to know about, that's the first place we go to.
Who else might be
Astute.
there? We don't know.
It is 11 p.m.
Shall we?
Adelaide by Night is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And all our podcasts are available on Spreaker, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of White Wolf Entertainment AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit white-wolf.com. This season of Roll to Cast is made by fans, for fans, and is not officially licensed material of White Wolf Entertainment.